Alright guys, so I'm gonna react to this shit. I wanna see if I can add any notes to the Hwoarang video at the end here, because I think it'd be a lot of fun to contribute to the discussion a little bit, because Hwoarang is a problem. He needs to be discussed more. I want to see what he has to say. I've only watched about a quarter of this video, if that. I fell asleep during it, so let's see what he has to say.
Main man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. Sorry for not uploading for a long time. I've been, well, busy with other things, and there's a lot of holidays in Sweden, like spring, early summer, so I've taken a lot of time off, hoping it doesn't turn in. Season 2, so the current state of Tekken, this character is absolutely insufferable to a point where I almost don't want to rematch the character. He is so awful to play against. This is a character that's always been annoying, but in this game, holy hell, we're gonna get into it in detail. And the stash was shaved. I'm gonna show you what it looked like at its peak. Very Ned Flanders.
Oh, the stash!
And thick. Really like my stash.
Damn, bro.
But I gotta say, I don't know how you stash guys do it. Or those of you who have beards year long, like when you eat and it gets messy and shitty and you have food all over your stash and you gotta clean it out all the time. How the hell do you put up with that? But also,
so beard strat. Mine's just a little goatee, so it's not as bad. But I'm also quite careful when I eat, because it's like it's a strat. You eat a little bit away from your beard, so the food, some of it does get stuck in your beard, but you gotta, a little bit of soap and water after a meal doesn't hurt. That's usually what I do. But for the mustache part, this bitch right here, I keep it trimmed so that whenever if I use my regular razor that I just shave with normally, just shave right above where your lip turns color. You know what I mean? Shave that right there so that none of the bristles fall below your lip. Those fucking idiots that have the bristles falling down here just look like ass. It looks so fucking bad. And it's disgusting. You're getting your fucking mustache in your mouth all the fucking time. It's trash. No, screw that. I shave this shit all the time. Anyways, moving on to the Hwoarang shit.
I actually had no clue I could grow a stash like that. I'm 40 years old and I'd never tried.
He's 4 years old?
Notori from Finland for
oh yeah.
Erectile stick function. It broke down midstream. So thank you so much.
His controller's fucked as well.
I'm gonna get into it. How he has now infinite pressure, he has infinite defense, he has game-breaking lows, he's the god of lag, he abuses a bad netcode like no other character,
yeah,
and he also has no weaknesses now. They've patched it all out, and his new
what I just fucking said! What I just literally said, they got rid of half his counterplay. With the down 3+4 fucking trash.
In what, 98? I still remember playing, I'm 40 years old, I was there for Tekken 1, still remember when Tekken 3 dropped, and I played Tekken with friends, and everyone just immediately
yes, Nahato, how you doing?
And everyone kind of saw this guy as a cheat code, the legal cheat.
No, we're looking at the Hwoarang video. It's more interesting.
And it's because they spam.
We all know that Lee is way stronger than Lee players like to say, so there's no point in even commenting.
Hwoarang, holy shit, he takes spam to the next level. And you saw with Brian when I did my string, the number below there on frame advantage would go into red, -7, to indicate that, fuck, I kind of lost my turn there. I'm at a disadvantage when this is guarded. Look at the blue number now.
Yeah.
You see that?
+9, +5, +4, +4, +1, +12. Fuck off.
My opponent guards one on block, it's heavily in Hwoarang's favor.
Oh, but Hwoarang only has a 13-frame move of some of his stances.
Get fucked, Hwoarang players. He's also got a power crush and throws, you dumbass.
+20, +17.
Both of those are faster than 13 frames, so your arguments are trash.
It's just Hwoarang's turn. Always Hwoarang's turn. Only if you attack whiffs.
Not to mention, in Flamingo stance, down 4 tracks both sides and launches on counter hit.
So if he starts wailing on me, like, it's a death spiral.
That little low that he comes in and just kind of smacks you with his leg, that's a counter hit launcher, and it's fucking tracking to both sides.
This guy has defense.
Quite well,
if you miss
actually.
any attack against Hwoarang, he will do this, and you go airborne.
Yeah, and there's the best whiff punisher in the entire fucking game, even over the electric, because it has insane range, 0 execution, and it's only 16 frames to impact. And he's got a fucking down forward 2, universal down forward 2. He's always had this, but it tracks to his weak side.
He can also do back 1, this move.
Oh yeah.
Back 1, and he does a super evasive step.
-13 on block. -1 on hit, but it steals. It effectively takes Hwoarang's turn back.
Universally get launched, so heavy punish. So the character has.
Back 1, I mean, how many people have seen Hwoarang players spam the shit out of that move? That's a very classic fucking panic tool for Hwoarang players, right? I'd be really doing a lot Korean backdash against Hwoarang. Yeah, but Korean backdash in this game is not even that good anymore. They nerfed the shit out of backdashing in this game. So the original counterplay to Hwoarang was to keep the character out. Keep him out of your fucking face. And that's how you beat the guy. But with this fucking game, the backdash is significantly less than it used to be, so that is just trash. It's just not available for the counterplay at all anymore. So what are we supposed to do? Well, we're supposed to still keep the Hwoarang out, but with a shittier backdash and with a shittier sidestep. Good luck keeping this guy out with that in mind. On top of that, they gave him tools, which I'm sure Mayman will address. They gave him tools to get in on the opponent effectively, safely, in fact, in Hwoarang's favor most of the time, that require no execution, no risk to the character or the player whatsoever. You're just fucking in their face, allowed to do your pressure, because you're plus, and that's the perfect opportunity for Hwoarang. He's plus in your fucking face. That's what Hwoarang wants to be. That's what he always is, right?
And now we're gonna get into the game-breaking defense. This is where the character, in my opinion, now turns into a complete joke. And this was already there in Season 1.
I wonder if he's going to
but we're gonna
address
get
the
into
fact that he's got a
Season 2 completely
17-frame
mindfucked
wall
us all
splatting
on
heat
Hwoarang.
smash
So I'm
that
gonna
gives
turn
full
on
combo.
counter in
And
short,
tracks to sidestep
infinite
right.
pressure character, right? Has defense, but
Or sidestep
when this
left.
guy is in heat, so this powered up heat state, you know, the new aggressive gameplay of Tekken 8, he becomes the best counter hit character in the game.
Yeah,
so
down
he
back
goes
four,
from
jab.
insane pressure. This is
Oh, yeah,
12
this
frames.
shit.
This is the fastest attack in the game.
There you go.
Like a jab. When he's in heat, this is a counter hit
Yeah.
launch. That is +3 on block, by the way. This character turns that into a launch. So then I want to ask you guys, a character with offense like this, should he have a launching jab when he is in heat?
Fucking hell
I'm gonna do
no.
my jumping attack, up 4. This is plus on block, and it evades lows, and it's very fast at 16 frames. This is also turned into a launcher. Also note
Just
the wall travel
fucking
and note
nuts.
the damage. Forward 4, which is +8 on block.
What is that shit, dude?
Oh, +9, +10, +9. Is also turned into a counter hit launcher. Right foot forward, down foot 4, also a counter hit launcher.
8
This
frames.
move is +4, right? As we saw before. His down back 4, we're gonna really discuss this move soon. This is the best low in the game.
Yeah,
Down back 4,
I agree,
low,
actually.
counter hit launcher.
Although down
This
3
move
plus
is
4
also
gives it a run
16
for its
frames
money.
startup, just like up 4. So these moves are as fast as it gets. Well, I mean, I showed you the jab launch, but then mid, counter hit launch, low counter hit launch. Sorry, low counter hit launch at 16 frames. The mid is +3 on block and evades lows. The low is -1 on block. This is game-breaking stuff. And again, having a jab launch, this is defense. This just adds to the character's defense. What I'm about to show you is game-breaking, and it's something that
More
Lars got in
game-breaking
Season
shit.
2, but
That we
everyone
all
objected to it.
already-
He said, remove that shit. But Hwoarang is allowed to have it. I think like legacy characters who've always been in the game, they're allowed, you know, preferential treatment. Lars doesn't get to have it, Hwoarang gets to have it. Let's pretend Hwoarang never existed, right? And
Well,
then he releases in this
Funny, I kind of disagree with that a little bit, because there are certain things that legacy characters don't get access to that new characters do. For example, high crushing properties and hop kicks. Like Claudio and Shaheen get to high crush with their hop kick. Katarina got to high crush with her hop kick in Tekken 7. Josie, her hop kick was universally known for high crushing all the fucking jabs in the game. Ridiculous bullshit, right? But with the characters, the legacy characters, like take Armor King, for example, or King, their fucking hop kicks crush nothing. You know? Law, his hop kick crushes nothing. Fucking Paul, hop kicks crush nothing. So, you know, the older characters have access to some things, but I think in this instance, it's not necessarily a legacy. It's not tied to the fact that he's a legacy character. It's tied to the fact that he's fucking Hwoarang, and they don't know how to balance this bitch because his move list is too long and complicated. So balancing this guy is a nightmare, I'm sure. But when the problems are so fucking obvious, it shouldn't be that difficult. If there's only like 10 to 20 moves in the game that this guy has that are that big, that are that problematic, even less than that, I'd say, it shouldn't be that hard to balance this shit. Like down back 4 should be punishable on block, but instead it
in Tekken 8, like a new character.
down back 4,
everyone
for
would lose their
example,
fuck.
I'm sure he's probably going to touch on it, but in case he doesn't, down back 4, if you block down back 4, and Hwoarang goes into right flamingo stance from down back 4, you are then not allowed to, while standing 4, punish that shit. Because you risk eating the flappy kicks. Just think about that for a minute. Almost every low in the game, every low poke in the game is universally -12 or more on block. That's just how Tekken is designed. That's a universal fact of this game. Now, if Hwoarang does a low poke down back 4 into flappy kicks, he beats out your while standing 4 punish by 1 frame. And you get launched. Fuck, dude. So you're forced to respect the low. the only counterplay to that low is a hard read into a parry. It's fucking ridiculous. He's probably going to talk about it, though.
Because he's so impossible.
Main man's always very
I
thorough
can't
with
even
his...
fathom what it must be like being new to this
his,
game and playing against Hwoarang and just being
inputs.
completely bewildered by what he's doing. It's almost an art learning to deal with that character. It's so difficult. But so, I'm going to show you a really good low in Tekken 8. This is Kazuya's down back 4.
Yeah.
It's a low poke at 20 frames startup. I'm going to turn off counter.
Plus 4 on hit. Pressure tool. 20 frames, though. Slow.
Advantage. It's plus 4. Still my
Very
turn.
easy to interrupt.
I can check my opponent.
Decent tracking to both sides, too.
If my opponent guards this attack, Kazuya is minus 12, right? And he eats a punish.
Yeah.
This is how lows universally work across the board in Tekken. They
Exactly.
are not like mids, and they are not like highs. Typically, highs and mids are allowed to be safe in Tekken. But lows are always punishable.
Yeah.
Always. You block this, bagoosh. Kazuya gets punished, and he can...
Yeah, mids, it's like this. Lows, always unsafe. Mids, sometimes unsafe, very often punishable, but it's a very, I'd say, 60% of the mids in this game are punishable on block, 40% are safe. Or they might even be plus on block. And then the highs, I'd say 90% of highs in this game are either safe or plus on block, and the very small percentage, like 10% of the highs in this game, are unsafe. Like, for example, Kazuya down forward 1-4 is a minus 11 on block. That's a high. The second hit is a high, right? You really need a hard read on this character, which is not easy. No, exactly. You need. That's how you beat Hwoarang. That's the counterplay. Sidestep, sidewalk left doesn't necessarily work anymore because he's got homing moves that high crush. So they've removed two types of counterplay. Keep out and sidewalk left. They've removed those types of counterplay from Hwoarang effectively. Now the only counterplay for him is to duck into a hard read or to sidestep in hard read. Like, it's always a fucking hard read with this bitch. He hasn't addressed down back 4 yet, so I'm assuming he's going to go into it now. I just use Power Crush and hope he goes through. That's like my only option versus Hwoarang. No, it's never a good option because Hwoarang's always plus. If he's plus 3 or more, which he often is, then your Power Crush is going to die. So I would stop trying to kill yourself by doing that. You're better off doing a hard read.
If it's guarded, they get punished. Hwoarang breaks this. Hwoarang's down back 4 does everything.
Okay, now he's going to go and do
for
it.
reach, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Tons of reach, right? Decent enough damage. Also hits grounded. Also does the crucial thing of turning them around. You see how it flips the
Oh,
character
fuck,
onto
I
the
didn't
stomach?
know that.
It does this in Oki situations, and this means that the character
I just
getting
learned
up
something.
now
I didn't
will
realize
do
it
so
did
with her
that.
back towards me. This is
What the fuck? So you get up back turn against the wall? If down back 4 hit, why does that even hit grounded at all? That's a great way to nerf the move. Just fucking make it so it doesn't hit grounded anymore. Why the fuck does that hit grounded? On top of that, it turns them over into the worst position they could be. The worst position for Oki that a character could possibly be in is face down, feet towards. Because you're getting up with your back towards the opponent. That's the worst position that you could be in on the ground. I didn't realize that. I had no idea, Sneharto. I didn't know that. That is fucking busted, dude. Oh my god.
super strong to have on a low. Super strong.
What the
so
fuck,
already
man?
it does all of this. Now, on block, if I choose to go into Flamingo, I'm only -1.
Yeah.
What this does is that it turns, on block, it turns this situation for my opponent into a mix-up.
Because flapping
Turns it
kicks are
into a
8
mix-up.
frames.
If he tries to punish me, which you would typically do when you block a low, I can blow him up.
Yeah.
Due to, I'm -1. But when I am in that right Flamingo, with my right knee up, I have access to my flappy kicks.
Yeah.
These are
8
frames.
fucking
startup.
frames,
-1,
dude.
and
You
a
can't
+8.
see it 'cause my
That means
dumbass
flappy kicks
face
out
is in
at
the
9
way.
frames. So that will beat even my opponent doing a jab retaliation, right?
So your while standing forward gets beat out by 1 frame, essentially.
So this is the mix-up I'm talking about.
Because he's -1, then he does an 8 frame move, well 2 frames actually, he beats out by 2 frames, because while standing 4s are typically 11 frames to impact, right? If you block the -1 attack, Hwoarang then does an 8 frame attack. He's at -1, he does an 8 frame attack, that brings it up to 9 frames, so the move takes 9 frames to come out, and your while standing 4 is 11 frames fast. That's the fastest punish you can do. Besides a dick jab, you could always dick jab, but who gives a fuck? What does dick jab do? It's +6 on hit, you know? If you're +6 on hit, and you take 5 points of damage from a dick jab, where is the risk to the Hwoarang? He doesn't give a fuck if he eats 10 dick jabs. He's still gonna do more damage with like 2 or 3 landed down back 4s. Who gives a fuck? There's no risk to this move. So even dick jab is useless counterplay. So your while standing 4 gets beaten out by flappy kicks by 2
I just
frames.
blocked a low, but if I try to do my fastest while standing punish, which is while standing 4-4, this is 11 frame startup, I get blown up. I got launched. Right? So I have to wait this out, and then try and blow him up, right?
The Hwoarang players are gonna say things like, just hold your block, or hold your crouch. Just keep crouching. And then what? Get launched by the fucking mid launcher that he does? Get launched by the plus fucking 4 3 string? That wall splats? That's plus 4 on block? Like, what is... That's a dumbass response to something like this. That's a dumb fucking ass response. Ridiculous nonsense. This type of low should not exist in Tekken. It's bad for the game. Ridiculous.
But if I wait just the double
Yeah.
flappy, he can blow me up again, right?
The last hit kills you anyways.
That
What
can
a
happen.
fucking joke.
Is he going to stop at simply flappy, so I can punish? Or is he going to add the third hit? So there's a little bit of a mix-up there as well. If you try and do your 10 frame crouching jab here, you can jump over it. This is also safe on block. Safe.
Oh, right. That,
This is
that
already
beats out dick
brutal
jab.
low, right, from everything I've shown you.
So
But
even
using
dick
heat,
jab
if
is,
there's no
is not
counter
a
hits,
response
it's
to this
still
shit.
-1 in heat.
It's always the Mishima players tripping about Ling and Hwoarang. Why? Because, well, maybe that's because we're the most
With
analytical
everything
people
I
in the
showed you,
fucking community.
add that
Well, maybe
counter
that's the
property in
reason.
heat.
Maybe
And
we're
tell-
trying to dissect this game on a molecular level that you Hwoarang players don't want to do because you're satisfied with your busted character. Tell me how us tripping out about this low is not justified. Tell me how it's not justified. It's an 8-frame fucking launcher that comes out after blocking a -1 on block low, which defies all logic in Tekken, as he demonstrated earlier. Most lows in this game are -12 on block, if not more. There are very few lows in this game that are only -10, but almost all lows are at least -12. That's the universal rule. So we're used to just reading the low, blocking it while standing for punish, or a bigger punish if he can. You're not allowed to do that in this fucking character's instance. I'll go into some Kazuya details in a little bit, but we'll talk about all this stupid shit in a little while.
For me, that's not the dumbest low in the game.
Fucking
So this
backlash.
is
We were
how
just
Hwoarang,
talking
even
about that
with
earlier
lows
too.
that you block, it will also absorb my attacks, right? Because it's a power crush.
Yeah.
Absorbs my
Plus on block too, by the way.
power crush homing. So that's very, very strong.
Yeah,
So
I
quite
mean, this is
defensive in
exactly
nature.
what I was saying earlier.
But he struggled initiating going in on the opponent because
Yes.
he used moves like this.
That's what he's reiterating everything I said before I even started this video. Like, this is a shit I've been saying for fucking months. The weakness with Hwoarang is typically fucking, you keep the Hwoarang player out, he doesn't have an effective way of getting in. Now he's got 2 homing moves that do the job for him for free with 0 proper counterplay. The mid, the only counterplay is read it and jab interrupt. The low, the only counterplay is read it and block, then get your 14-frame punish. That's the only fucking counterplay. Other than that, it's an unseeable low, and it's a risky to try to defend against somebody's attack with an attack of your own. Even a power crush is risky to throw out because it's still an aggressive form of defense. You risk potentially getting counter hit yourself into big damage, even more damage than you would have taken had you just held block or had you just gotten hit by the move. Counter hits, you get more damage taken, right? So that's why it's dangerous to try to say the counterplay to this move is to attack. Fucking dumbass. Dumbass way of supplying a defensive option. The defensive options should never be press a button. It should always be sidestep, guard, duck, backdash, whatever the fuck. Like, there's never a time where pressing a button is a good form of defense. But that's the only real way to beat out moves like Black Kite. You gotta read it and jab interrupt. Fucking stupid. Oh, but it's only +1 on block, so Hwoarang doesn't even get to take his turn. Yeah, he fucking does. He can still jab. He can still fucking jab, which puts him at +8, and then he's in his perfect spot to do shit.
So you can see it's a launcher if I'm in heat. And it's homing, so you can't step it. And not only all of that, but it's +1 on block. Advantage towards Hwoarang. So he went from having no initiation to having whatever the fuck this is. Top tier initiation.
This is standard Hwoarang counterplay. If he's in left foot
forward
forward stance, sidestep left. If he's in right foot forward stance, sidestep right. But then you still risk this fucking horse shit. Down 3+4, man. My God. If you try to sidestep Hwoarang left, guess what? You still run the risk of eating his down forward 2. His safe 15 frame mid launcher. So, because it tracks to sidestep left. So he has ways to beat out all of your potential counterplay. And I know that that's kind of a universal rule in this game. Option selects are kind of few and far between and don't really exist for the vast majority of characters. So there's always an option that the character has to circumvent your defense with their offense. But that doesn't mean that that's a fair and balanced concept with someone like Hwoarang. If he's always plus, and your only real counterplay, according to the Hwoarang fanbase, is to sidestep or sidewalk left, then why the fuck doesn't anybody ever talk about the fact that he has a safe down forward 2 launcher that tracks to that side? So even if you try to sidestep the appropriate way against this bitch, he still fucking gets his launcher for free. So sidestep left into block into what? More fucking flamingo pressure? Where is the fucking counterplay? He's got none! They buffed the fuck out of that Beck move. Yeah, you know what it used to be in Tekken Tag Tournament 2? That move, it used to knock down and guarantee a little mini combo. It wasn't all that strong, but you know what it was on block? Minus 40. Minus fucking 40. And you could sidestep it. Now, you can't sidestep it, it's minus 14. Welcome to Tekken 8, bitch.
Pretty much all of that general counterplay I just described. This move has a lot of reach. So this is to tag you trying to do a backswing low or a back dash. Note the reach of this low.
Unbelievable. Fuck that move. I cannot believe they gave him this.
So we'll catch most
cannot fucking
blows,
believe
we'll
they gave him this. This is
it will also, of course, as it's homing,
my opinion, this is the
that
biggest
upper
problem
right?
with Hwoarang right now. He has
low
this
isn't
shit.
even launch punishable. It is minus 14.
Yeah,
So
I play
pretty much every
Kazuya.
character
Yeah, I
game,
can launch him
aside
for
a few
this. Do
characters
you
like
think
Ryu Jin,
I'm
Kazuya
happy
can't
about
launch
that? No.
Or Eddie. Can't launch that. Also, he got this attack.
Doesn't matter if
4-3
Kazuya
from
can
right
launch
flamingo.
him with it.
Double mid. Once you block the first one, there's nothing you can do. You have to respect and block the second
You
one.
can only launch
He
him
ends
if you
up at
block the
left
damn
flamingo at
thing.
+4. There is no real counterplay to this. It is simply just take a guess now. A lot of people like to step right into guard, but he can of course do this move to tag you.
Yeah.
He can do.
I was saying that down 4. We labbed this a couple weeks ago. If you block the 4-3 from right flamingo, he's +4, which a lot of Hwoarang players will argue actually technically he's only +1 because he's in left flamingo stance, and the fastest move he can do from that is his 13 frame jab. Fuck off. That doesn't matter. He's still plus in your face, and if you do anything, you run the risk of eating that jab, which then puts him in a fucking +7 or +5 on block. And if you read the jab and duck it, you can't punish the bitch because he's fucking incredibly safe. His recovery frames on that little fucking jab that's +5 on block are so fast. You cannot duck and launch punish the thing, the character, even with a perfectly timed twin pistons 13 frame launch punish from a duck. You can't fucking do it. You can if you're perfect with your inputs, but good luck. Good fucking luck. You have to read that he's going to do it. You have to acknowledge that the jab just came out. Then you got to go immediately for the twin pistons. And then even then, you risk that getting blocked. And then you're susceptible to 12 frame punish by Hwoarang, which then puts him right back into the spot he wants to be in, plus frames in your face. You're right back into the Hwoarang vortex. So is Hwoarang top 5? There's an argument to be made for sure. I think there's a good chance he might be. So, look at that shit. 13 frame launcher. I got it. Fuck this character, man. Fuck this character. Look at that shit. I'm Kazuya right now, which means I have access to the fastest launcher from a while standing position in the game. Only Kazuya and Eddie have this shit. Every other character, you're looking at 14 frames or 15 frames to launch. If you're Steve, you're looking at 16 frames. There's no fucking way Steve is ever launching Hwoarang for this garbage. So, you go for while standing 4 even. You gotta fucking be so perfect with this shit. You have to know exactly that he's going for this punch. You have to, like, this dude has to be spamming this shit, and even then, you have to be so perfect with the input, and even... Fuck this garbage, man. What is this trash? Guess what that punch is on block? +5. And on hit? +7. It's impossible. You, like, the only way that you can launch that with Kazuya even online is if you've done copious amounts of cocaine, you've had 8 hours sleep, you've had a fucking 6 coffees in the morning, and you're just like looking at you can smell colors. That's at the point where you can maybe successfully launch punish it with twin pistons and no other move because they're all too slow. They're just good luck ever doing this. I'm offline in practice mode and I can't consistently do it. You have to duck immediately, knowing he's gonna do that, and then go for the launch. It recovers almost instantly. How is that balanced? Tell me how that's balanced. On top of all this shit, let's not forget, he's got a tracking to one side, 17 frame, heat smash, that wall splats for a full combo. Where is the balance? 17 frame, tracks to sidestep right. I think it's sidestep right. It might be sidestep left. I can't fucking remember. Is it, he starts with his left leg, so no, it's sidestep. Yeah, it is sidestep right. He tracks to sidestep right. You can sidestep it left.
I don't know what the weakness is supposed to be of this character anymore. Perfect offense, perfect defense, 50-50s, perfect throw game, best power crushes. He's absolutely insufferable to play against in my opinion. I kind of hate Season 2 Hwoarang. I hope they do adjustments to him, but I hope this serves as an informative video.
Fantastic video by the main man. Obviously everybody here knows this guy. He's brilliant content creator. I love the main man. I've never been in such a violent agreement with him before. Obviously, him and I see eye to eye on quite a few things. We're both Kazuya players. We're both very passionate about the character. We're both very passionate about Tekken. We're both content creators. He's an amazing content creator himself. You know, nothing but respect for this guy. Much like all the other content creators in the community, aside from one or two that I really just dislike hardcore. But I don't think I've ever watched a video from the main man where I've agreed with every single fucking point about this dude. That he said in spades. Like, he's 100% correct. Did K-Wish make a reaction to this? Because I would love to see that too. I want to know what his thoughts are, because nothing main man says here is wrong. He's 100% correct. His down back 4 is safe. It hits grounded, which I didn't even know until watching this video. I didn't realize it hit grounded, and it flips them over into the worst position you can possibly be in this game. Face down, feet towards. Trash position. You'd much sooner be face up, feet away. Even though it's still a shitty spot to be in. If you're face up, feet away, at least you can you get up by holding back, and then you move your entire body way out of the fucking way by kind of spinning the character. And you cover a lot more distance getting up. Face down, feet towards is terrible. You're getting up with your back towards the opponent. And that move does that for the character. So, down back 4, and it's a counter hit launcher in heat. And if you block it, you get mixed up with floppy kick, so it can potentially be a launcher on block if you try to punish it with a move that should be the viable punish, right? Backlash, for example. So let's see if I can punish this properly, right? This is the best punish. If you see a backlash come out. Oh, went for the throw too early there, but yeah. You can always punish this with a throw, just so you guys know. Crouch, do your standard throw, and you will always punish the backlash. Well, not always, I guess. Fuck, even that's too slow. But yeah, you can definitely get a decent punish with this, but try your while standing 4 here. Yeah, punish. Try the while standing 4. You'll nail it sometimes, but then even if you're a little bit too fast, like main man was saying, you got a 4 frame active hitbox window. So you run the risk of getting smoked when you're just trying to get the punish out as fast as you can, right? Now try twin pistons. Oh my god. Oh my god. There we go. Oh my god, dude. This is so fucking stupid. Oh, by the way, it's plus on block and does chip damage, too. What a great move. Plus 4 on block does chip damage. Look at that chip damage, too. That's not insignificant. Hwoarang is a problem. It needs to be discussed more. We need to put this dude on the map so people understand where the problem is with this guy. So he's got insane Oki. This shit flips you over into face down, head towards, feet away. He can just do this all day. Flip you over all day. So again, and he can do forward, forward 3, which is also hits grounded. So the fact that down back 4 hits grounded at all and flips you over is nonsense. Why is that a thing? That should not exist. He already has incredible Oki tools with back 3 and forward, forward 3. Why the fuck does he have down back 4 that flips you over? Main Man didn't address this, but Hwoarang has a perfect throw game on top of that. One other issue I have with Hwoarang, where's the fucking, yeah. That is, what you just saw there, is a fucking, homing throw that is only broken with 2. So it's a command throw. Now I'm mashing 1 here, right? Usually when you see a homing trail like that, I'm gonna mash 1. You see a homing trail with throws? Typically you can break them with either input, right? 1 or 2, because a standard throw, like what I have with Kazuya here, if I just do my throw, it's got the same type of thing, it's got a homing trail, you know, looks the same, right? But because his is a command throw, I have to break it with 2, and it's a homing throw. Command throws are no longer homing unless you're fucking king, but for some reason, Hwoarang, who has a perfect throw game, has access to a homing 2 input command throw. He's also got access to his 1 throw that we already showed you guys a minute ago. This move. This is not a homing move, but it adds to his perfect throw game, and then he's got multiple 1+2 throws, including multiple of them out of stance. So he's got a perfect throw game, Hwoarang does. And one command throw he does is a homing throw. Which, that's not supposed to be in the game. Paul has one as well, which I think is fucking stupid. No character should have a fucking homing command throw, not even King. Not even fucking King. So, ridiculous. I don't even know what to add more to this concept, to this bullshit, but the fact that we discussed everything the main man just talked about, we discussed everything I just talked about with the lack of punishment abilities, the perfect throw game, one of his command throws being a homing move. This is insane. So, I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get it. What they thought was acceptable with Hwoarang is now all the characters that are just absurdly disgusting right now. Anna, Asuka, Clive, King, and Hwoarang. These are unacceptable characters. They should not be in the game in this way. Ridiculous garbage. I can't fucking believe this. Okay. I'm gonna call it there with the reaction. Thanks for the awesome video, main man. It was a blast responding. Gonna stop the recording here.